So you still picking on Joe? Huh? Okay, a little bit of an update on the 7.3 Power Stroke. I'm just going to cover a problem I had when I got to test drive it in the last video. If you remember, I was complaining that my fuel filter light would come on, but it was front tank only, and only in the fuel filter light will come on one of these. I think it's the bottom. I can't remember exactly, but it would only come on the front tank, not the rear, and that was if you pushed the engine hard. If you drove it easy, say like just putting around town, or kept it down to about 65 mile per hour on the freeway, unless you hit a hill. You put it on cruise control at about 65 and hit a hill, it would flicker and start coming on. Switch it to the rear tank, it would immediately go out. And I figured out what my problem was. It might not help your problem if you've seen the title and clicked on this, because many things could cause that to happen. Bad fuel pump, clogged filter, stuff like that. But on mine, since I've had this truck, for those of you who have followed me throughout this whole project, I've had this truck completely apart, and I put the tank back in a long time ago. I had these two lines right here crossed, and they are connected just by rubber hoses and hose clamps onto the steel line, which connects to the steel braided lines, which go to the sending unit, and have those pesky quick connect lines that I haven't met a single person that likes them. But anyway, I had mine crossed, and what I learned was, after looking in some forums, you got a gray line and a blue line. And from what everybody was saying in some F-250 truck enthusiast forums, blue line is feed, took to the feed side of your fuel sending unit. Gray line is return. And I had these switched. And when I realized I did that, I was just laying under here one Saturday night, and I was actually fixing a O-ring leak on the fuel line up front where it just goes under the engine. And I got to thinking, I wonder if that leak was on the return side or the feed side. And I was trying to determine which was which, and I didn't want to drop the tank, so I went online and looked. Then I realized that I had it crossed, and the reason I realized it without being able to look at my sending unit, which was which, if you look on the dual tank switch, it's, let me position my light. I don't know if you can see this or not. This is return, and this side, I don't know if you probably can't see it, but the other side says source. And I had them crossed right here where it was connected. And that's what the problem was. I drove it after that, ran it pretty hard, buried the speedometer, floored it in second, third, and fourth gear. I mean, just gave it all it had, and the fuel filter light did not come on anymore on the front tank. Neither did it on the rear tank, which it never did. So I just want to make a short video on that. And another problem I had to fix, which might come in handy for Power Stroke owners, I had a broken battery cable. And as you know, when it's on the cable in, but as you know, when it's on the one where two cables go in, of course we got two batteries on this thing, it's not your typical cable in replacement. And I've got this, I managed to keep my cover here, but I used one of these. I just picked it up at AutoZone. You can find them on eBay, and they worked great. But one thing, these battery cables are a number 1. These are made for a number 2 size battery cable, which is about your standard size for most regular battery cable applications. Probably your ground wires are number 2, but these are a number 1. The smallest one, or biggest one, probably the biggest one you can get for this. But these holes were for a number 2 and it wasn't big enough, and I was able to drill them out. But you can't just do it with a drill. I had to stick it in my Bridgeport mill over there and offset it, because if you drill it out in the center, you're going to lose threads on these set screws that hold your battery cable in. But you can use these if you don't want to wait and order something. Now, another good fix that I saw online, but I couldn't find any in town, are the military style clamps. Or yeah, they're like military Jeep style battery ends. Now, and what you can do is you can put some lugs, you can cut these off, put some lugs on them, and the military style has a, kind of looks like this. It's a big heavy duty square looking end on there, and a 3/8 bolt runs through here this way, and you can put lugs on these and just run the bolt through them and tighten it all down. But since I didn't want to wait and order, I found this at AutoZone and made this work. So that's about, really, this truck is pretty much done. There will be more things to do later on. I still need to put my correct fuel filler hose. I did find it for the diesel. If you remember, because I could not find the other one, or I put the gas one on it, which came off of this junkyard bed right here, which was a junkyard bed when I first bought it. It isn't anymore, of course. But I'm waiting on the rubber hose because I don't have the correct length rubber hose under here. And it actually arrived yesterday. I was home all day, but I got a delivery notice saying attempted delivery notice. Sorry we missed you. But they didn't come to the door. They just threw it in the mailbox. They didn't even attempt to deliver it. We have a USPS driver who is not very, what's the word I'm looking for? She's not a very efficient delivery person. Let's put it that way. But that's all I want to cover in this video. I just wanted to make a short, quick video because I haven't made any in a while. And after, well, it doesn't have to be after I do the fuel filler hose, but the next thing we're going to be doing is we need to start up this old girl, get it out here. Got to air up the slicks. As you can see, I've got some clutter to clean up, and what we're going to do with the Power Stroke is, after I get this out of here and do some straightening up in here, we're going to do a kind of a maiden voyage with the empty trailer, make sure everything's fine with the truck. I'm not going to just hook a truck I haven't driven in a lot in over 10 years and just take a trip to the racetrack. We're going to make sure everything's right. I'll probably take it to the end of the freeway and turn around and come back with an empty trailer. Make sure everything's good. I need to make sure my wiring is correct and working. Get my taillight, make sure my taillights are working and all that. So in the next video we'll show a little more action. This is mostly just a talk and an update video. And for those of you who haven't followed me, thanks for watching, and maybe you clicked on it because of the tip for the battery cable or the fuel filter light. And thanks for watching.